Hello, if you're already watching. Bear with. Oh, I'm going to close the door as well. There's some building works going on next door, so the dogs are constantly up and down. Right, let's just share the video. Hi, Dan. Well, it's really quiet now because I've just turned the Ninja off. There we go. Okay, I think I have everything. Yeah. Okay, so I'm making edamame or edamame. I think it's actually said by, I always say edamame falafel. I love falafel, and this is a veggie dish I made, I think, last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I found some frozen edamame beans in the freezer. Obviously, they were in the freezer. So I thought, oh, let's make it again. It'll only be me eating this. And I don't have a full bag. This is a 500-gram bag of beans, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to weigh out how much I have here. In fact, this is all going in the food processor, isn't it? Yes. So it's a fairly simple recipe because it's blend everything in a food processor. There is one step prior to that, and it's just toast some sesame seeds. I'm going to be working on about half of the usual recipe. It's only 10 grams of sesame seeds. I'm just toasting them in the pan whilst we get the main mix ready. Hi, Karen. I've just toasted some wonky panda bread that we've had in the freezer for a little while. It's just one slice, 30 grams, and yeah, it's toasted enough that it'll blitz down into breadcrumbs a bit better. For this recipe, any bread, low-carb bread will work. It's just what we have in the freezer tends to be the stuff from the bakery. But if you want to make it yourself, then the 90-second bread is usually the go-to. Or if you're doing a very small batch like I am today, I'd just use a small amount of seeds. It's just to give it a bit of a bulk, to help it bind a little bit as well. See, Dad likes falafel, but we have 3 portions of lasagna and a portion of keema in the fridge that need eating. So I thought, let's just make a small amount. So I'm just going to see how much I have of the edamame. 220, so just under half a bag. So I'm going to halve everything in the recipe. I know it'll be slightly off, but it's fine. Have I already said hi to you, Sandra, or was that in my head? If not, hello. I can't remember. Let me turn the light on. I don't know whether that made any difference. Sesame seeds are toasting on a low to medium heat. No oil, just sort of heating them through, getting them a bit of colour on them. Shallots or leeks. So I need 50 grams if I'm halving everything. I have good news. I have very good news. Sorry, sidetracked. I've just seen it out the corner of my eye. The present for Dad's birthday, which was over a month ago now, and got stuck in customs, they resent the present. So I think this is the second parcel. It has arrived. And I've even put it in a gift bag. I've not bothered wrapping it up because he's going to open it straight away. It's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's nice to know that it's actually here. I need 50 grams of shallot, which is that. I'm just chopping it up roughly. It's all going to get processed. I'm going to save this because I'm doing a side dish whilst these cook in the Ninja. I know falafel is typically, they're going nice and golden. I know falafel is typically fried. These ones aren't. These are oven baked in a little bit of oil, just to basically stop them from sticking to the tray. Reason being, this isn't your typical falafel, so it might not hold together as well. But also, this is the recipe that I made, and I don't tend to deep fry things. because it's a lot of effort and I prefer to oven bake so I can make a side dish whilst it's cooking. So that's the plan. I have the Ninja tray ready. I'll just put some olive oil in the bottom of that and they'll just bake. Shallots, bit of coriander, which has already been chopped for me. It's very convenient. Dad made crispy chili beef yesterday, so it's all made for me. A small bunch of coriander. I'll put in that much. The breadcrumbs. So I've just sort of torn the bread up a little bit. As I said, this is the panda bread. So this is the clean bread on the Keto site. And if I was replacing it with seeds, I've got 30 grams of bread there. I'd probably replace it with maybe 20 grams of milled seed. What else? Oh, an egg. I need to halve an egg. I'll use the other half in an omelette or something. But in this case, I don't think using a full egg would be very wise. I'm just going to whisk it up. And it was a large egg, so it's probably about 30 grams for half. So how is everyone? It's been quite warm today. It's not been sunny, but it's been warm. That's been nice. Okay. The half egg. What else? Sesame seeds. Let's turn that off now. I'll go in a minute. They are nice and golden. You have to be careful when you're stirring these in the pan. They tend to fly out, so be gentle. I've got a couple of sesame seeds on the table now. It's fine. They're slightly golden, slightly toasted. Not necessary, but it looks nice. Spices. 1 to 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. So if I'm going halves, I'll just do a teaspoon of each. So I've got garam masala here, so it's 1 to 2 teaspoons of garam masala. So I'll do 1. I like garam masala. It says ground cumin. I've got cumin seeds. I can't be bothered to put them in the pestle and mortar, so we're using them whole. It's fine by me. And I'm the only one eating it, so I can do what I want. Salt and pepper to taste. And a garlic clove. Yeah, so Dan, how hot is it where you are? Blue skies and sunshine. Because it's been positively tropical today at 17 degrees, but not very sunny. I'm just going to chop the garlic clove in like thirds and then we'll add it to the food processor. In it goes. And yeah, that's everything. Sesame seeds. So that is everything on the ingredients list, with the exception of coconut oil, which will go in the bottom of the oven tray. I don't have any coconut oil, so I'm using olive. I would use lard, but this is a vegetarian recipe, so I'm keeping it vegetarian. And it's not frying with olive oil, so it's fine. I never knew sesame seeds would literally jump out the pan like this. This is crazy. So if you're not planning on doing this, just be careful. Otherwise you'll end up with sesame seeds everywhere. There's a few at the bottom of the pan. That's fine. I'm using that pan for the side dish in a few minutes. Okay. So this is going to be blitzed. Might take a couple of goes. And I basically want sort of a smooth paste. We'll see how thick it goes. I haven't made this in ages. Okay, again, I'm sorry that this is a bit of a weird angle. That's as far as I can get the food processor. So we're making do. Okay. Hello, Sue. So it's not done yet. I'm just sort of pushing it down. And we'll puree again. Looks good though. It's a very green falafel mix, if you can't tell already. So you can sort of hear the blades start to spin too freely when it all just gets pushed to the sides. So one more go and this will be done. Where do you get your edamame bean from? Good question. This has been in the freezer for ages. Does it say? I think this is probably just from Tesco. I know I've got edamame beans from Tesco before. Actually, this might not be. This might be from Wing It. The brand is Utaka. It just is shelled edamame soybeans, and also we get frozen because we don't use them very often. I'm sorry, that probably wasn't very helpful, but I know I've got them in Tesco before. Sue says Tesco or Iceland. Might be Iceland actually, Sue. It was so long ago since we got them. Hi, Shell. Hi, Kathy. I might have already said that. I'm losing track of who I've said hi to now. Right, let's put the egg out of the way because I don't need that today. That is the falafel mix blitzed. We'll get this in a bowl so it's easier to work with. So the part at the bottom is more of a smoother paste. Some bits at the top are still chunky. I quite like that. Gives it a bit of texture. It's fine by me. Okay. Right. So now it's just a case of portioning it into falafel shaped pieces. So I'm going to get my oven tray. The rack for the Ninja is already in there. I'm not going to get it out because it's hot. Hopefully the video isn't frozen, Shell. I don't have a Wi-Fi warning, so it might be you. Bit of olive oil on the bottom. Oh, you're not in the UK, so you'd have to go on a day trip to Tesco or Iceland. I'm sure, I mean, I don't know how mainstream it is, but I would presume it actually would be. Okay, I'm going to go for that sort of size. I'm not weighing it. It's just something that will easily fit in my hand. So there we go. Sort of packed it down. Move the oil around. The oil's just there to give it a nice colour on the outside and so it won't stick to the oven tray. If you did want to fry these, I would actually suggest baking them a little bit first because they might be a bit easier or more likely to hold together. And then you could finish them off in a pan, frying them. But I think you get a decent enough crust on them baking them this way. And you have more time to do other stuff. I'm back. Okay. Hi, Diane. Well, if you like falafel, then yes, it's tasty. If you don't like falafel, it's not. But I love falafel, and I really like this recipe. It's the spices. It's, you know, you can always adjust the spices to your taste. I don't think edamame has much of a taste, to be fair. So it just takes on the spice and whatever else you add to it. I'm getting a lot out of this. So this is just short of 2 portions. I'm determined to fit it all in this one tray. So the falafel are getting a little bit bigger. You don't, perhaps you've never had falafel. Okay, so do you know if you like garam masala and cumin? I'm trying to think of what other recipes have that in. some of the lamb kebab recipes in the library use those spices. Ooh. The shakshuka uses those spices. Alright, I'm finishing off with 2 small ones. It's funny because it looks like it's made with like a broccoli rice, but it's not. There's no cruciferous vegetables in this, I think. Yeah, shallot is a cruciferous vegetable. I can't spell what. Dan. Falafel isn't hard to spell, and you're watching a video with it in the title. Okay, so I've just been pressing the mix in my palm and using the spatula to sort of press it all together. I have 9 pieces, which divides perfectly into 2. I always do this to myself. I always make either 9 or 13 pieces. There we go. See how vibrant green they are? So I'm just going to wash my hands and get this in the Ninja. There you go. If you don't like hummus, you won't like falafel. Good one, Shell. Forgot about that. Okay, this is going in the Ninja. It says preheat the oven to 190, so I'll do in the Ninja at 180. Place the falafel in an oven tray and bake for 15 to 20 minutes, turning halfway through if necessary. Remove from the oven when they're slightly golden, which gives us plenty of time to make a side. I'm going to put it on bake and for 20 minutes. Okay, so as for a side, this is called using up any random stuff in the fridge. And I don't know why I asked, but I asked Louis, I'm making sort of a ratatouille style side dish. Would you like some with your lamb keema? I'm not sure it'd really go. Louis like, yeah, of course I will. Because Louis doesn't care what traditionally goes together. So he's having lamb keema and a bit of a weird ratatouille. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. I'll make this a shakshuka inspired ratatouille. Using none of the normal ingredients. Well, no, some of the normal ingredients, I'll say that. Basically, all that means is I'm going to add some garam masala along with the paprika. I love shakshuka, and it's a similar sort of spice to the falafel with the garam masala and the cumin. So if anyone's going to get offended by me switching these dishes up, I'm sorry. This is just me using what's in the fridge and the spices that I like. Well, it is Wednesday, isn't it? So I can actually say it's a Wing It Wednesday. Yeah, ready, steady, cook. So I've got the pan on a medium heat. So I have some shallots. So I have some veg that was actually purposefully bought for this live. So shallots. I also have this much pepper. 4 cherry tomatoes. A courgette. And some broccoli, but I don't know whether I'm going to need the broccoli as well as the courgette. So we'll find out. I'm making this for 2 people. I feel like I'm immune to shallots now, because earlier today in the bakery, Liam was cooking down shallots for the beef and shallot pie. And they were strong. If anyone would have walked into the bakery at that moment, Liam would have looked like he was having a mental breakdown. Streaming with tears. It was very strong. And a partridge in a pear tree. How? But how what? I overshook my cream, now it's half whipped, half non-whipped in the carton. Okay. Oh, how many eggs in the bakery? I cracked 76 eggs. No, I did 76, but then we found out they were underweight, so I had to crack another 7. So what's that? 83. 83 eggs. That was for some lemon cakes. Dad cracked an additional 30 or so for a cheesecake, but he skipped out on the longer task. Surprisingly, it didn't take very long. I've become an expert. For those that don't know, Dan will be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. And as usual, we'll be putting him to work in the bakery. And last time he was chief egg cracker. So that, yeah, it's 83 eggs for one batch of cake, Dan. I don't know how many batches we're doing. Okay, shallots, pepper, courgette. Let's all just remember this. Dan offered. This is voluntary. Now, to me, that doesn't look like enough veg. This is all on a medium heat. I just want to get it softened. Yeah. I'm going to add some broccoli florets. These will sort of steam whilst they're cooking. Using the stalk in this is actually quite good as well. I would if I wasn't using courgette, but I think the broccoli florets will give it a good texture. So I'm trying to keep as much of the stalk off as possible. Right, we'll use that much. Right, bear with. I'm going to chop some of these up a little bit finer before they're going in. So that sort of size piece. It's fine. I'm sure I'm getting fed steaks. Okay. There's leftover Cornish pasty filling substitute. Still red meat. Got the lid in case I need it. But actually I might add the tomato. Oh, I've got the tomatoes to add. I forgot about them. Right, let me put the lid on just whilst I add the tomatoes. Trap some water in. Where are they? Yeah. I'm actually making seeded fish fillets tonight, but now I want falafel. Seeded fish, is that like a coating shell? So fish fillets with seed coating? Because you could mix falafel spices in with the milled seed, maybe? I swear this knife was just sharpened. And yet it's struggling. Okay, tomatoes will go in. This is on a lowish heat now. That's not going to work. That there is a a large pot of chicken soup-ish for the dogs. So it's got chicken in it. We just need to take the bones out. And a bunch of veg to sort of bulk it out. Because Coco's going through a phase at the moment where she is not liking her kibble. So for the past couple of days, she's been on an almost exclusive raw chicken wing diet because that's the only thing she would eat. She had a marrow bone this morning, but she is having kibble if it has chicken stock on it. And the kibble's formulated, so it has all the vitamins and stuff. So it's good that she can have a bit more variety. There's nothing wrong with her just eating raw chicken wings, but it can get quite expensive when she eats a lot. Alright, a little bit of tomato puree. I'm going to add a little bit more. This is still on a low heat. I just want it to kind of simmer away now. Cook the broccoli in there. So, spices. Let's get... actually, no, I'm just going to make it up. We'll make it up. If I had remembered, I would have added garlic cloves before, but I didn't remember, so I'm going to use garlic powder. Bit of garam masala. I suppose that will go with the lamb keema, won't it? I don't know. Smoked paprika. Yeah, she is very much a carnivore. She even turned down peanut butter and cheese. But we've made progress. She's eating cheese again. And she had some egg. She likes hard-boiled eggs. So it was a bit strange how she just suddenly went off it. But she's eating a wider variety now. Argie's loving it because he's having his usual kibble plus everything else. The only other thing I was going to add to this was maybe a bit of cream cheese, make it a bit creamy. It smells good. I'm going to put the lid on so it doesn't dry out. But it's on such a low heat. Okay, also I have some rockets, which I'm going to have with it, but I don't need coriander, passata, already in the veg now. How's the falafel? Falafel's halfway, so I'll take a look at it actually, and we'll see if we need to flip it round. Got some panda wraps, which I'm going to have the falafel in. Sort of like how you normally have it with pizza. Oh, it's looking good. Okay. Using tongs that Louie's already broken. Let's see if I can pick one up. Yeah. It's not cooked yet. It's only been in there for 10 minutes. But there is some golden colour on the outside. I'm just going to leave it in there and we can get them fully baked, not squishy. I'm going to turn the function to air crisp. I think that might work better. It's not like rocket. So. So yes, we have some panda wraps. I'm going to have one. Louis might have some as well. Is these all plain? Yeah. I know what's happened. These are dodgy ones. We always get the wonky products here. We don't never get normal stuff. This is what happens when a panda wrap gets folded over. We get it. So it's a collection of folded wraps. Okay. It's gone very dark outside. It looks like it's wanting to rain, but it's looked like that all day. I'm hoping it doesn't because the dogs need to go for a walk. Not that they'll be very impressed if they do need to go for a walk and it's raining. Perfect. Yes, all right, Dan, we get it. You're on holiday. You have blue skies. Oh, great. Shell's just had thunder. Lovely. All right. The heat's on 3, which is low. I'm going to add a bit of cream cheese. Say a bit. About 40 grams. And we'll slowly melt that in. Yeah, shut up, Dan. Okay, that looks better. If I wasn't having to crack hundreds of eggs next week, I'd be staying for another week. Do you know what, Dan? You could always have a break from cracking eggs. You could be weighing out buckets and buckets of panda flour. That was what Liam was doing for some of today. And it is funny because let's say you got like a litre jug and you put that in this sack of panda flour, and then you need maybe 3 kilos to fill this tub, and that jug is maybe 200-300 grams, and you're like, oh no, because it's so light. It feels like you're just taking forever. Okay, you've probably seen a colour change, obviously, with the cream cheese going in. It looks really nice. It looks quite creamy. It's sort of brought it together a bit. Doesn't look as rich, tomatoey. I think that'll be quite nice. I'm going to taste it and see if we need to add any more salt. The vegetables are pretty much cooked down. Let's turn the heat down even more. I don't want it to reduce much more. How long have you been in Tenerife, Dan? And how long are you there for? I know we've already had a conversation about how bad my memory is at the moment. I remember stuff, I just can't remember where I've stored it, you know? That's spot on. I don't need to add any more salt. I'm going to add a little bit more garam masala though, because I can't really taste that very well. And because Louis is eating this as well, and he does like strong spice. Actually, I'm going to add some chili flakes in as well. Give it some heat. And we're basically just waiting for the falafel to finish cooking now. They've been on air crisp for 5 minutes. I can't really get much out of the time. I arrived on Thursday evening, leaving early Friday morning, back in Aberdeen for 3 days, then off to Northamptonshire. Yeah, so in the space of maybe, 10 days, you're in Tenerife, Aberdeen, here, and in London. Okay, let's see how the falafel's doing. It's much more golden now. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, that's done. So I can tell it's easy to pick up with the tongs now. It's not like squishy still. See, it's lighter on the side that hasn't been facing the air. Actually, let's put the ratatouille and the rocket in first. Let's see if I can find the tongs. Oh. I'm using our replacement Ninja pot today. You'll see the normal one is there. It's very funny how clean it is. Usually it's used for soups and stocks and stuff. I don't know why we didn't use that one for the dogs. Oh, that one's stuck. That's fine. We're going to get some casualties. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't help that these tongs are awful. I'm going to use a spoon. So much better. Yeah, so I've got a casualty. I'm going to blame it on the tongs, all right? It definitely wasn't me. I need my oven gloves so I can hold the tin. Yeah, we have 2 Ninja pots down. So when one was being used for like a soup or something, or yogurt, actually that one's usually used for yogurt. We've not made yogurt in ages. See, I can get it out in one piece. How many? I'm gonna have 5. They smell great. Yum. So we're gonna ignore the one that crumbled, okay? Pop that over there. Yeah, so when one is in use for something, I know you can't use both at the same time because you've only got one Ninja, but we have one so that one's always clean for yogurt, whereas the other one looks very sort of worn. I mean, you can tell the colour difference. You can see inside of that one compared to that one. That's the yogurt one. There we go. Falafel with creamy ratatouille and some rocket. I'm going to have it with a panda wrap to sort of use like a pitta. There we go. If you haven't tried this recipe, it's one of those ones where people probably don't see it in the library because it's only in the vegetarian section. It doesn't really fit in any of the other categories. Give it a go because, well, if you like falafel, give it a go. And that ratatouille, I mean, it's just using whatever veg you have, whacking it all together with some spices that you enjoy and adding some cream cheese if you want it as a creamy one, or add some parmesan to it as well. That'd be really nice. Thank you very much for watching. I think the next live is on Friday. Actually, yes, it is. It's a Q&A. So 6:30. And then Sunday, the one and only Daniel Dawson, who would be back from Tenerife, is cooking carnivore gnocchi. So there we go. That's the live plan for this week. If you are near London and you fancy a trip to London, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, the Bank Holiday Sunday, we will be at the Keto Festival as Ketoroma. Let me get the link. We'll be there on a Sunday and we'll be bringing lots of stuff. Lots of panda stuff. So there's the link to the festival if you're interested and you're in and around the area and you want to come say hi. There you go. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you give this recipe a go, then post in the groups as always. And I'll see you on Friday. Goodbye.